Hi guys, AB here, bringing you a brand new video. I finally got around to it. I'm now doing my top 10 favorite PlayStation 2 games of all time, so far. But I finally got some time. I've been kind of busy lately, and I really wanted to resume my top 10 video games list. So let's just get started then, huh? At number 10, we have Marvel Ultimate Alliance. This is one of the biggest oddballs on this list, probably. But I really like this game because mainly this is the game that introduced me to Deadpool, who is now one of my all-time favorite superheroes. And I'm a big superhero fan. I collect the comics and see all the movies and. This is one of the earliest superhero games I ever owned, and I choose the first one over the second one because mainly because just the memories I have with this game. I played this one a lot with my brother, and we had a lot of fun with this game, and that's why it's at number 10. Here at number 9 is my first M-rated game that I ever owned, and that would be Grand Theft Auto Vice City. And this is also the game that introduced me to the Grand Theft Auto series in the first place. And I've always really loved this game, and I actually like this game over San Andreas. But it's just my personal preference. Even though San Andreas is still an awesomely fun game, this is definitely this was my favorite Grand Theft Auto game until Grand Theft Auto 5 was released. So. I still really love this game, and that's why it's at number 9. Now at number 8, we have a game that I do not currently own anymore, which is Jak 3. Jak 3 is my favorite of the franchise, except the ending. I really hated the ending of the third game. I really felt like it kind of screwed with the romance that they were building in the first and second game. But enough about that. Jak 3 is a really fun game, and if you really like platformers, and if you really like third-person shooters, you'll love this game. And if you were frustrated by Jak 2 and everything about Jak 2, I'm there with you. I can't stand Jak 2. The story's good, but I'm not going to get into it. Jak 3 is a wonderful game, and I highly recommend it. And if you haven't played any of the Jak games, definitely give it a try. Well, do the other ones first, but Jak 3 is definitely very fun. Here at number 7 is another game that I actually don't own anymore, and that game is Resident Evil 4. And that was, I think, my very first horror game, my first entry into the horror genre. Even though I had seen other people play Resident Evil 2 before, but I actually never played that game myself, and Resident Evil 4 was really the first game that really made me interested in the horror genre when it comes to video games when I was younger. And it's still one of the best games, or horror games, that I've ever played. That goes for movies too, Movies and horror games aren't what they used to in a lot of aspects, but again, it's a great game. If you love horror games, definitely give that one a try. Alright, here is my number 6 pick. And my number 6 pick is Yu-Gi-Oh! The Duelist of the Roses. It might be another strange pick, but I think most of you who watch my channel know I really love Yu-Gi-Oh! And this is one of my favorite, if not my all-time favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Game that is not based on the actual card game. This one's not as I don't think this one is as grindy as Forbidden Memories on the PS1, but this game is actually quite difficult if you don't have strong cards in it, so you gotta get really lucky and play it a lot. And but once you grasp the rules for this game, this is a really, really fun game. I actually tried it fairly recently, and I still remembered the rules for it. and it's just, this game is actually really fun. And if you're into Yu-Gi-Oh, or even into strategy games, I'd actually tell you to give this one a try. It's actually quite good. Alright, number 5, we have Final Fantasy VII Dirge of Cerberus. This game, to me, I've always been a huge Final Fantasy fan, and I try to keep it at one per franchise, but I'm not as big of a fan as Final Fantasy X, as a lot of people might, but I've always loved Final Fantasy VII and, you know, all the PS1 Final Fantasies, but especially 7, and I loved this game because I love Vincent, and this game was so fun. I was starting to get into shooters, and I beat this game on every difficulty. I really beat the hell out of this game, and I loved this game. I still love this game, and if you love shooters and if you love Final Fantasy, you will love this game if you haven't played it. But just give it a try. I highly recommend this game. Now we are at number 4. This is another Rockstar game. I believe it is. I think this is my last Rockstar game on this list, but it's definitely one of my favorite Rockstar games, and that is Bully. I got this when I was in high school, and you know, I really related to the main character in it because I knew what it was like for him, and but at the same time, I really did enjoy this. It was really fun. It was an open world, just like in Grand Theft Auto, kind of just like dumbed down with the violence part, and but the story was actually what really drew me into it. I really loved this story, and it was just really fun to play, you know, and it was another one of the games I played with my brother a lot, and I got a lot of good memories with it, so that's why it's my number 4 pick. We are now at my top 3. These are the top 3 that were on my actual top 10 favorite video games of all time, and so you probably already, if you watched that video, you probably already know what these picks are, but I'm going to go over them again anyway. Number 3 is Star Wars Battlefront 2. This is really one of my favorite third-person shooters, and I think the first game was one of my actual first shooter games that I had ever played, but the second one improves on practically everything the first game did, and that's why I really like this one. And I'm super excited about the new one. I really hope they don't mess it up. But this is a wonderful game. This is one of the best Star Wars games that you could play. So I definitely suggest playing this game if you like Star Wars or if you like third-person shooters. My number 2 pick is Kingdom Hearts 2. Again, just like on Star Wars Battlefront 2, this game, to me, practically improved on everything the first game had. And I've always loved the story of Kingdom Hearts, and I always loved the gameplay and the level designs and the characters you can have on your team. And I've always just loved the Kingdom Hearts games, and it's how you do a crossover right, you know. So, but this is my favorite of the Kingdom Hearts series so far, and I definitely suggest trying this game if you haven't yet. I just want to mention real quick, my number 1 pick is not Persona 4. Even though Persona 4 is my favorite game of all time, my number 1 pick for this list is not Persona 4, so I actually never played Persona 4 on the PlayStation 2. I've only ever played it on the PlayStation Vita. So with that being said, my number 1 pick is Dot Hack GU Volume 1. I choose Volume 1 because it's the one that got me into the series. I honestly can't pick between the 3 games because they're all just such magnificent games, so I always just go to the first game because it's what got me so hooked onto the series. And this was my favorite game of all time up until I played Persona 4 on the Vita back around when it came out on the Vita. And I had my Vita, and I really wanted a good game for it, so that's why it's not on this list. But this is such a wonderful game. It's basically you're playing a video game about being in a video game, and it's just done so well, and it's so fun, and it's just a wonderful, magnificent game. And if you really like RPGs and you can get your hands on the .hack GU series, I know they're a fairly expensive game to get now, I highly, highly recommend this game. And with that being said, thank you guys for watching my video. I will definitely be doing a PlayStation 3, a top 10 PS3, a top 5 PSP, and a top 5 PS Vita. But keep an eye out for those. If you'd like to as well, I've also done a PlayStation 1 video and my top 10 favorite video games of all time video. Next year I might do the top 10 video games of all time video last. But again guys, thanks for watching, and you all have a wonderful day.